President of the Tigray Interim Administration, Getachew Reda, has criticized the observers of the Pretoria peace agreement, stating that their lack of guarantor status has negatively impacted its implementation.
The fact that they were not there as guarantors of the agreement has had its own negative impact on the speed with which the implementation of the Pretoria agreement was taken care of.
He also stressed that the African Union should take a more active role in resolving the conflict rather than leaving it to the people of Tigray alone. According to him, any conflict in Tigray had the potential to destabilize the entire African continent.
And any conflict that happens in the northern part of Ethiopia, which is cradle of civilization and which is the most integral part of the Ethiopian civilization, should not have been left for people to sort out. Of course, the AU should have played and should continue to play a much stronger and a much nuanced role in addressing this issue, because any conflict in Ethiopia and any conflict in the capital of Africa simply would end up upending any peace process and any process to address the issue of silencing the guns in the entire Africa region. And of course, taking into account the specificities and the complexity of the problem, I think it's a lesson we'll learn, but I hope and expect that lesson to be taken seriously. And for AU, now that Commissioner Bankole has a renewed mandate, will take into account more seriously than ever.
Furthermore, President Getachew underscored that the cessation of hostilities should go beyond merely silencing gunfire and should encompass broader measures to ensure lasting peace.
Another point I would like to raise, the scope of the cessation of hostilities agreement is about silencing of the guns, but it should go beyond that.
Addressing humanitarian concerns, he urged the African Union and the international community to recognize the suffering of women and children in Tigray and prioritize efforts to alleviate their hardships.
And I would like to once again call upon the AU, the international community, to still consider the kind of suffering women and children in Tigray have to go through right now as we speak. And it's not just about the presence of women members in the negotiating team that matters. Of course, it matters a lot. But the most important focus for us should be whether the issue of women and children is given the kind of attention it deserves, and richly so.
He also pointed out that many critical issues remain unaddressed, emphasizing the demobilization and reinstatement process should take precedence over disarmament.
A number of issues we haven't yet addressed. DDR, most of the focus of the international community was the first D in the DDR process, the disarmament process. But the most important aspect for us is whether we disarm should not be the end. Whether we demobilize and reinstate the people who have been combatants because they had a cause to believe in is something that should be taken into account. And of course, the international community, the AU, should take this process seriously, and it should continue to press all of us to focus on this part of the Pretoria arrangement.
In his concluding remarks, President Getachew affirmed the need for internally displaced persons to return to their constitutionally mandated territories within Tigray.
To conclude, I would say the most important focus should be the return of IDPs and the return of IDPs to the constitutionally mandated territories of Tigray. And the Constitution clearly requires that we address this issue and address it in a manner that ensures sustainable peace and security in the entire region.